You're listening to Two Girls, One Crossword.
Listeners, I'm sorry to say this, but there is somewhere I would rather be than recording right now. That's crazy.
Fishing?
Can you believe? I'd rather be fishing. No, God of War Ragnarok is out, folks. God of War was like my favorite video game from 2019. And the new one is out. And all I want to do is play it. I've been thinking about it all day. I feel like a fixation coming on.
Yeah, but
Strong.
You gotta let it, you gotta take your time with it. Otherwise it's gonna be over too quick.
I know.
How is it? Do you like it as much as the first?
I love it. I feel like one of the things that you and I both like about the game is that there seems to be like something guiding you through the story. It's not as open world as a lot of other games, and I know you even struggle a little bit with God of War. Sometimes it can be too open world.
It's just I don't need to turn over every rock and open every chest. I think I'm alone in that, but I hate that in video games. It's like it's too much. Yeah. They put it in too much because then I get anxiety that I'm not going around every little corner I need to go around.
Yeah. Thankfully, God of War isn't like you absolutely need to. Like if you miss something, like you won't be able to advance in the story. It almost seems like they're steering me a little bit more than the last game, which I can't tell if that's because I'm still early in the game or not. I'm really liking it to see how the story has kind of picked up after the end of the last game.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's very good.
Although
some really interesting new characters have been introduced, and I'm excited.
I'm mad that you got the digital download.
I thought about this after the fact. I was like, oh my God, Grace can't. We could trade PlayStations.
We could. Yeah, well.
Borrow her
Something
anytime.
will work out amongst... You're not true friends if you don't exchange your PlayStation 4s from a million years ago.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, sorry, not to say that I don't want to be here, but I want to be, if you're watching YouTube, I want to be here on my fat ass playing God of War with my Blades of Chaos, which I forgot about. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to have these back. Anyway, that's me.
Well,
just me, crazy old me.
Unfortunately, you're not doing that. Instead, you are hosting the podcast you're listening to, Two Girls, One Crossword. I'm Grace Topinka.
I'm Chelsea Rowan. This is your favorite weekly Podword Crosscast. Thanks again for joining us. Thanks again for being here, just like I'm here, forced against my will.
With a gun to her head.
Yeah.
Well, should we go in?
Should we hop into the poll?
Yes, we should, because we got a lot of votes, and maybe the answers surprise you, maybe they don't.
I knew we would get a lot of votes because I knew these crossword constructions would come out of the woodworks.
Yes, exactly. We asked, have you ever taken an IQ test based on our Mensa episode last week? Choices were no, yes, and scored below average, yes, and had an average score, yes, and scored above average. Well, 50% of the voters said yes, and they scored above average. So we're followed by a bunch of little geniuses / nerds.
Wow, you guys are so nerdy.
You know they're just waiting to tell people that they scored above average on a IQ test.
Exactly.
40% of people have not taken one, including me, although I didn't vote in this one, but I've never taken an IQ test. But 10% said yes, and they scored below average. So, you know what? Kudos.
We do have some normies.
Yeah.
Following us.
Well, below average, so below normies. But you know what? Like we said last episode, IQ test is not everything. It's literally measuring like one specific type of intelligence. So, nothing to be ashamed about.
Did I ever tell you about how in college I had to take, you obviously take a certain number of courses in certain categories or whatever, and I had like a math section that I needed 3 more credits in, so 1 more class, and you could take like any number of like regular math classes, or you could take something called logic. And at the time I had no idea what logic was. I was like, oh, logic sounds a lot more fun than, let's say, algebra, whatever. I was just essentially looking for a way to not have to do math. Well, logic is math, but with thoughts. And it ruined my life. I used to be when I say really good at math, I'm just going to say I used to be good enough at math
like,
that I was in honors classes.
Based on
okay?
previous conversations we've had.
I used to be in honors classes, okay? And then I got to a point where like because I was doing so well in math, I was put into like honors geometry in high school. And having to like, that's when they start introducing the idea of proving and theorems and things like that. And it all went downhill from there. And my teacher would like look at me, she's like, you used to do so well, like what went wrong? And I'm like, you're telling me to prove that this is a circle without being able to say like it's a circle because it looks like a fucking circle. And it just bothered me. And then you get to logic class in college and you realize it's exactly the same as geometry, except it's fallacies that you're proving. And that's what I feel like the Mensa test or the IQ test would be.
I think it is a lot of logic questions. We should take one.
We should. I would love to see how below average.
I want to go and I want to get a Mensa pencil. We talked about this last time. So let's look into it and we'll see. It's 3 hours of our day, but we can get a little Dunkin' Donuts before. Can we bring
maybe a Chochi
freshie
afterwards?
In, like with the ice going?
Yes. And they're like, ma'am, you can't shake your ice for the whole duration of the test. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is how I get my brain firing.
Like, we're requesting a private test room just for us, and we think it's okay to swish your ice. It actually helps us, so.
And then I hope to God we pass, because I feel like the test proctor will never forget us at that point, you know? Be like the two girls that swished the whole time.
We should take one together.
And they passed.
I feel like definitely combined our IQ is probably pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you put a crossword in front of us and it's over in 10 minutes. That's a Tuesday. I'm just kidding. We're a little faster than that now, I think. But
barely.
Well,
we haven't done one together in a while. Anyone listening
I do them with Matt and we're pretty fast now.
I believe it. Well, maybe we'll do one this weekend. Maybe we'll do the Sunday.
Oh,
since we're seeing each other on Sunday.
Bring your iPad.
I will. So, should we get into our hits and shits?
Let's get into the hits and shits.
Hits and shy.
Can I start us off?
Yes.
I'm going to start with the Monday, November 7th, New Yorker by Paolo Pasco. Hello, Paolo. Long time no see. Loved this puzzle. Start with the first clue that I liked. 7 across. They usually involve 10 digits for short. The answer was manis. And if you're interested in manicures or just nail art in general, I believe that's what the topic you covered was, or just acrylic nails or fake nails. I
thought it was manicures, but didn't you do that topic?
You did that because you talked about Little Kim's famous like MoMA nails. You're right. Anyway, maybe it was manicures. Anyway, that was episode 104, Nail the Landing. Check it out. Yeah, every time I read your topic titles again, I'm like, she's a genius. She is a genius. She literally should be in Mensa.
Although I feel like it's like now I really struggle now these days.
It's hard.
I don't know what it is. It's hard. And sometimes I'm like, I've definitely used this before.
If you ever need to bounce any ideas off of me, feel free.
Yeah, I'll send you a voice note.
You let me know. 15 across, Burmese delicacies, ?
Cat treats, that was in my hit too. And so is Manny's actually.
Okay, and then that brings us to 29 across, doesn't keep off the grass, ? And the answer is get stoned.
Cool.
So good. Remember when we saw like the first like weed clue and answer in the New York Times and we were like literally shocked?
Yeah.
Shocked.
Now look at us.
Look at us. Look at us. Just look at us. 32 across, wait nervously. This is for you and me. The answer is sweat it out. I feel like you and I are anxious sweaters or sweaty anxiety people.
It doesn't take much to get me going.
No, not at all.
Just thinking
I'm
about
sweating
it.
right now.
Yeah.
And then 43 across, centerpiece of a date, ? And the answer is pit. Because a date is a fruit. I thought that was hilarious. Hilarious.
Did you ever watch Phil the Future?
Yes, but it's been so long.
Well, I was obsessed with Phil and Keely getting together, and there was one episode where it's like they're really building up to it, and they're like eating outside, and then he's like, date, and then she looks over, and then he's holding up a freaking date.
Oh my God.
If you know, you know. If any of our listeners happen to be a big Phil the Future fan, back in the day, let me know. 'Cause there's not that many of us. They're hard to find.
A rare breed. What do you got?
Well, from that puzzle, I liked 5 down, day of the week for 2/22/22, abbreviation, and the answer, 2 for Tuesday.
Yes.
When I first read it, I got excited because I thought it was 2/2/22. I was like, oh my gosh, your birthday?
So
on a Tuesday, but
I think, hold on a second. No, this year it was a Wednesday. Damn it.
Well, you missed out. Sorry.
I did. Maybe next year. Yeah, and if you're wondering, listeners, 2/2 is my birthday. Groundhog's Day, the best holiday of the year. We've talked about this on the podcast before. I mean,
Chelsea's
what else do I have
middle
to
name
say
is
to you?
Punxsutawney. Okay.
It is. Chelsea Punxsutawney Phil.
You could easily change your name to that. Nothing's stopping you.
Don't tempt me with a good time. Anyway.
Well, I did the Wednesday, November 9th, New Yorker by Will Nediger.
Okay. Was it Will Nediger? I thought it was Patrick Berry.
November 9th?
Oh, yeah.
It was Will Nediger. I'm looking at it right. He is with my own 2 eyes.
My bad. Sorry, Patrick. Sorry, Will.
31 across. Communal Amish building project. Barn raising.
Yeah.
I saw a video of this recently on TikTok.
Did you?
Amish people were moving a barn. They literally like picked it up and moved it. I don't know if that is what this is, but it was like 100 people like picking up a barn from its foundation and moving it. So that's one way to do it.
That's just proof that if you put your mind to something, you can do anything.
Mm-hmm. If you have, 100 Amish people backing you up.
As long as there's 100 Amish people there. Yeah.
I don't know how I felt about this one. 54 across. Post that's hardly dank. And the answer is normie meme.
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
It's either like I'm not cool enough that I don't realize that this is like how people talk, or I'm too cool. I'm like, people don't talk like that.
Right. You let us know. What do you guys think?
Just tell me and I'll believe you, because there's no way for me to know where I stand on the spectrum.
Yes.
And then this one seemed interesting. 39 across. Blank night. Andrew on film about a closeted Korean American teenager who gets a job at a bathhouse.
Spa night.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I haven't, but I've heard about it and I want to see it.
I want to see it. Not that we'll see. Is it like, someone tell us, does something bad happen to the teenager?
Right. We don't necessarily want
a positive one.
Yeah, we're looking for positive gay representation or positive queer representation.
The worst is, this is like for Alex's class once in college, they like gave out a list of whatever queer movies to watch. And for some reason, I don't know, Alex thought that this movie was supposed to have like a happy ending. And it kind of did, but it was like, it was not. And it was like so rough and horrible. And I was like, why did we, like, it was so hard to watch.
Do you remember what it was called?
No, I don't remember. But we didn't have like, or it's like, I was going into with the mindset that it was going to be like positive. And I was like, what's going on here?
And at the end, you're literally just destroyed. You're like, what?
It was okay at the end. Like, the character was going to be okay, but it was still just like, you have to be knowing going into it, I think. But it's horrible thinking the exact opposite. And then you're like, that's not what I thought
something is not adding. The math's not mathing.
Talk about geometry.
Talk about geometry. Do you have anything else from that puzzle?
No.
I liked the clue from 15 across. Is this the Wednesday?
Tell me.
Art form? No. Band whose song Barbie Girl led to the case Mattel versus MCA Records.
What's the answer?
Aqua.
Yes, that is the Tuesday. Or that is the Wednesday by Will Nediger.
I recently saw a TikTok about this topic. I just thought it was interesting that, like, I guess it makes sense that Mattel would try to sue Aqua.
I thought Barbie Girl was, like, part of Barbie canon.
Right? But then think about it. I'm a Barbie girl, like, in a Barbie world, but it's, like, wrapped in plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me anywhere.
Yeah.
Imagination.
Life is your creation.
Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. Yeah.
That part doesn't seem as weird. Only the undressing part seems weird.
What did she say? I forget. There's like parts when like Ken is like talking to her or whatever. And in retrospect, I shouldn't have been singing this like around like first grade, like on the playground, but I was. You could touch me anywhere. You're like, oh my God.
And you turned out fine.
I turned out just fine. I'm really great at math, specifically. So, yeah. Is that all you had from that puzzle?
Yes.
Okay, my topic. What?
Excuse me. We haven't flipped the freaking coin yet.
Sorry, I don't know what. Like, my brain is running on autopilot, apparently. I'm taking us to the Tuesday, November 8th, New Yorker by Eric Agard. 30 across. Pause with pause, perhaps.
Catnap?
Sires. So pause, as in, like, dads.
Oh, I
see. And they're called sires, which, first of all, I hate that that's the word that they use in, like, breeding across the board, like, to sire something, like the male, the male part of, like, a breeding situation is called the sire. So I hate that, but I thought it was a cute clue or creative clue. I also liked 38 across, video game character animation, and the answer is emote. So, like, you know, if you play any sort of, like, online game like Fortnite or, I don't know, PUBG or whatever, you can, like, either collect or somehow win or purchase emotes that your character can do live in-game. And Matt plays a lot of these online games, and he never purchases anything. But, of course, Blackpink did a PUBG, like, collab, and the PUBG Blackpink emotes were their dances, so Matt could, like, have his character dance the Blackpink choreography in game playing PUBG. And of course we went halves on it so that he could not only have the emotes and, like, little sprays, because you can, like, spray things and, like, tag the environment, but also, like, their outfit and their hair. And he, to this day, still wears the heels, the fishnets, the Jenny's, like, high, like, Ariana Grande type ponytail. It's amazing. It's the best pack ever. And the emotes were great because it was, like, all their choreography. So lots of fun. And then I learned something in this puzzle, from this puzzle, 54 across. Part of glitz, Glits for short. And the answer is trans. So glitz is, like, all in all caps. And I just went to their website. So I'm just going to read, like, the first couple sentences from their mission statement from their website. Their website is www.glitsinc.org. So this is from their mission statement. Glitz has been led to change systemic and economical oppression of systemic and financial discrimination, not only in New York City, but also globally when it comes to our marginal communities. We approach the health and rights crisis faced by transgender community members and the sex worker community holistically using harm reduction, human rights principles, economic and social justice, along with a commitment to empowerment and pride in finding solutions for our own community. And I had never heard of this before.
Me neither.
So, yeah, I'd recommend poking around on their website. It's pretty interesting. So that was cool to see in a puzzle. Yeah. And it also, like, sometimes I forget how New York-centric the New Yorker puzzles can be. But this was a reminder of that, which is just interesting. All very interesting. I liked this clue a lot. I think you'd like it too. 4 down. Event whose guests of honors are always late? ?
What? Baby shower?
Seance.
Oh,
like the late
that's
so-and-so.
Amazing.
Isn't that great?
I love that.
He does it again. Yeah, that's it. I have another thing on here, but it was just a topic that I was thinking about doing, so I'm not going to say it because I don't want you to get on my scent.
All right, I won't. Let's see. Okay, I did the Washington Post Sunday. Okay. November 6th by Evan Bernholz. Peak experience. Sorry, took me a while to get that out. The theme was fun. It was, like, circled letters in, like, a mountaintop shape, and then they were or peaks like Olympus, Vesuvius, etc. But I'm not going to talk about that. Just a few clues that I liked. 22 across. Measure of a color's intensity. Chroma. I didn't know that, or I did, but, like, I never put together.
Okay.
28 across. Disaster films? And the answer is bad movies, which I love. 77 across, battle plan, ? And the answer was rap.
Cool.
Even though I'm pretty sure in rap battles, it's like, ad-libbed.
Yeah, I think that's the point of it.
Not pre-written. Yeah. 84 across, quality of sneakers, ? And the answer was stealth.
Nice.
96 across, you wouldn't know this person. Answer is rando. Shout out to us. 67 down, rum blank tugger, Jason Derulo's role in Cats.
Yes. Rum Tum Tugger. Oh my God. I dream about Jason Derulo as Rum Tum Tugger.
He's great.
Yeah. And it's also really, it's something out of a fever dream. Well, the whole film is, obviously. Well, listen to our Cats Bonanza episodes, episode 50, for more on Cats. But damn, Jason Derulo. He actually is an incredible singer, guys. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like he gets a bad rep sometimes.
On my Broadway playlist that Alex and I have, that we include all of our favorite Broadway songs, I do have the one song we have from Cats is Rum Tum Tugger song, and it is the Jason Derulo version.
Amazing. You have to share with me that, or I don't know, just screenshot the songs that are on it so I could listen to it. Yeah.
No, you can join.
Okay.
109 down, you don't have to tell us what happened, in quotes, and the answer was we saw. And I just like,
that's
like,
so
yeah,
funny.
We saw. The sass of it.
I love it. What else you got from that?
That's it.
Okay. I'm going to take us to the Tuesday, November 8th New York Times by Enrique Henestroza Anguiano. The theme was fun. The revealer was 67 across. Enlightening experiences, or what 18, 26, 41, and 54 across have, phonetically speaking. And the answer is eye-opener. So, of course, that means every answer to the themed answers will open with I in some phonetic fashion. 18 across, affirmative at sea, I captain, duh. 26 across, hit BBC series of 1976, I Claudius, I, comma, Claudius, the letter I. And then 41 across, award-winning Chinese artist activist Ai Weiwei, which if you haven't seen the documentary from 2007 about Ai Weiwei, would recommend. Very good. And then 54 across, Bart catchphrase on The Simpsons, I caramba. So that was just a lot of fun. And then I really liked 36 across, one supplying strong emotional support metaphorically. And the answer was rock. I just like that.
Yeah.
I actually had a therapist told me that I was a rock. And that's why people who are really damaged tend to gravitate towards me. And I was like, I don't think that's what a therapist should be telling a patient.
Maybe that's why I gravitate towards you.
I've put up my walls to the damaged folk. Sorry.
I don't feel like I'm that damaged, so you're in luck.
I know. I don't think you're damaged at all.
I mean, well, a few quirks, sure, we all do.
And some dents here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I stay up all night thinking about how I'm going to die, but other than that.
But that's just a scratch in the
That's
paint.
Normal. Who doesn't do that regularly?
Does not depreciate the value, I'll tell you that right now.
I have to be asleep by like 11 p.m. or that starts happening. Like, that's what I find. If I stay up past 11, all of a sudden it's like Spiral City. I need to
Right, the floodgates are open. Yeah.
There's
I know exactly.
no good, unless I'm like, if I'm up like talking with people, whatever. But if I'm just like alone in my thoughts, I gotta be out by 11.
I have a problem.
That's the secret.
I'm the type of person that I am so anxious about that happening that I will start thinking about how do I make that not happen? And because I'm thinking about how to make it not happen, it happens. Yeah. Like, I'm like, don't think about any horrible thoughts. And then every horrible thought I could possibly have starts filtering in. And I'm like,
damn it,
I did it again. I did it again. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's life.
That's life.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. Shall we flip the coin?
Flip it.
Flip it and reverse it. In the words of the late, great, well, she's not late, great. But you know what I'm saying. Missy Elliott. Okay. I'm flipping the coin now. It's heads. So my topic comes from the Friday, November 4th New York Times by Juliet Corliss. Okay. 34 across. Truffle hunting option. And the answer is Godiva. And here, you guys have to like stick with me here for a second because we've already talked about Lady Godiva on the podcast. So I'm not talking about Lady Godiva. I've decided to reverse the meaning of this clue and do a topic for what I want to do a topic on, which is truffle hunting. So I'll be talking about truffle hunting today. I had other topics lined up, but then I saw this and I was like, you know what? I'm going to bend the rules a bit. It's my podcast. It's our podcast. We can do what we want.
We make the rules.
We make the
Works
rules.
for me.
All right. So we're talking about truffle hunting today. And I'm very excited about truffle hunting because it's been a really long time since I've done a food topic.
Mm-hmm. Great. The one time I don't eat dinner before recording.
To be fair, we're not going to be talking too much about like meals.
Okay.
Okay. We're just going to be talking about truffles and the act of hunting for them. Okay. So first and foremost, what the heck is a truffle? And we're not talking about chocolate truffles, folks. We already talked about Lady Godiva. I've already said this. So to put it simply, truffles are the edible spores that grow on an underground fungus in the family called Tuberaceae. Sorry, my Latin is non-existent.
Our Latin speakers are going to be really upset with you.
I hang my head in shame. So these edible spores grow around tree roots in damp areas. So it's underground damp tree roots is where truffles grow. And they are often confused with mushrooms. And while they're similar, they're technically not the same species. Mushrooms grow above ground and truffles grow beneath the surface. Truffles are considered a gourmet delicacy by many in the culinary world. They are extremely hard to source and lose their potency quickly once they've been harvested. And as such, they are one of the most expensive foods in the world. Depending on the variety, and Italian white truffles are generally the priciest, they can sell for as much as $4,000 a pound. $4,000 a pound.
Wow.
A single truffle.
Damn. We should be truffle hunters.
We should be truffle hunters.
Wait. This is going to be a dumb question.
Yeah.
Is that what truffle oil is made out of?
Yeah. Yes. So this is like, you can buy truffle oil made from real truffles.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is a market for fake truffle oil. So you have to be careful. Like, if you buy truffle oil, like a tiny bottle, and it's going to cost you like $70, you're probably potentially closer to buying real truffle oil than if you're buying something for like $15 off of the shelf in like a Stop and Shop or something, because it can be made scientifically in a lab.
Okay. Because I think of like at restaurants when I get stuff with truffle oil and it's like not expensive.
Right. It's probably not real truffles.
Wow. First time hearing of this.
Wow. We're blowing the top off, folks. This is an expose. You should be asking all restaurants, like, how genuine is your truffle oil, actually? How much did it cost you to buy the truffle oil? Anyway, so first, when did the love for truffles begin? Because truffles are, like, highly sought after here now, in the current world. First of all, we'll talk about the Amorites, which were a nomadic group of grazers. They originated in northern Syria, and according to a Mashed article, were, quote, they scandalized the settled people of Mesopotamia with their lifestyle, including the digging up and eating of truffles. Okay, that's like the first time we hear about truffles, like in written history, is these Amorites. And the people who were writing about the Amorites were like, these people are fucking crazy. And the truffles that the Amorites would eat were actually desert truffles, and desert truffles are completely unique from European forest truffles, but desert truffles are important for Middle Eastern cuisine throughout history. But we're going to be talking mostly about European truffles. This leads up to the classical era. Truffles were enjoyed by both ancient Romans and ancient Greeks. Plutarch, who was a philosopher at the time, believed that truffles were formed from a combination of natural elements such as water, heat, and lightning, of course. Truffles were also mostly enjoyed by the ruling class. Emperor Marcus Aurelius Antonius served truffles with cow udders, flamingo brains, and cinnamon-flavored peacock tongues.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that plate.
Yeah, I'd love to see that plate.
I wonder if it was colorful.
I feel like I'm getting like, I'm thinking of like a lot of pink, cinnamon, flamingo. What was the other one?
A peacock tongue, but I don't know if their tongues and brains are colorful.
Right. And I mean, like, I eat tongue and I have eaten tongue, you know, It's a common taco ingredient. Not
Yeah.
bad. It's just another piece of meat. Anyway, that takes us to the Roman doctor Galen, who prescribed truffles for his patients, including several emperors, saying, quote, "The truffle is very nourishing and causes general excitation, conducive to sensual pleasure." So throughout history, truffles have been used as like an aphrodisiac. And it's believed that the truffles Romans and Greeks were eating were actually desert truffles rather than European forest truffles, because the Roman truffle recipes, the way that Romans and Greeks would have prepared their truffles in like the examples that we have would have actually, all these techniques would have actually destroyed the distinct aromatic qualities of European truffles. Some of the recipes were like, let's see, you would skewer the truffle and grill it in fat. You would boil it with aromatics and sauces, or you would wrap it in fat and grill it over a fire. And all of these techniques would have actually like ruined the truffle that you would find like in Europe, apparently. So truffles then became increasingly popular during the Renaissance, and they were found on the tables of the wealthiest Europeans, Caterina de' Medici and Lucrezia Borgia included. And then let's fast forward to the early 1900s. At the time, the most famous and sought-after truffles were black truffles from France. The now famous white truffle from Italy was little known and entirely lacking in the international reputation of French black truffles. So that means, how did these white truffles get on the scene? Well, in comes a little-known man named Giacomo Mora. He was a well-known restaurateur and hotelier from Alba, Italy. And he had the idea to make white truffles, which he called Truffle of Alba, an object of worship internationally. In 1929, Mora advertised the white truffle for the first time at the historic Alba Fair, which was eventually renamed to the Truffle Fair in 1933. The fair's popularity and success grew over time and was covered in the press internationally, eventually making Alba a destination for international tourism. This led to, in 1949, Mora deciding to launch a promotional campaign around the white truffle, and his idea was to send the, quote, best truffle of the year to celebrity athletes, actors, and politicians. Rita Hayworth got a truffle in 1949. President Harry Truman got one in 1951, Winston Churchill in 1953, Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio in 1954, and then Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie in 1955, President Dwight Eisenhower in 1959, and Pope Paul VI in 1965. So he was sending out truffles to all types of people. And he was like, these are the best truffles, the white truffle's the best. And Marilyn Monroe loved her truffles so much that she wrote a letter to Mora saying, quote, "My darling Mr. Mora, I have never tasted anything so tasty and exciting," end quote.
Oh my gosh.
The campaign was a huge success, and by the late 50s, hundreds of thousands of boxes of Alba white truffles were being exported worldwide to high-end restaurants. And for context on how the popularity of truffles has since exploded, thanks in part to Mora's efforts, at the 1945 Alba Truffle Fair, white truffles cost around $3 for 2 pounds. In 2016, a 4.16-pound white truffle was sold at Sotheby Auction House for $61,250.
Oh my God.
That's how rare and expensive and in demand and popular these goddamn things are.
I would never want to eat it.
Yeah. And I also read, and I read this in one place, and I don't know if this is true. So if you're interested in finding out if this is true or not, then you're going to have to do the Googling yourself, because I don't have whether or not this is true. But I'm just going to put it out there. I read that there is no way to tell if a truffle is ready to be eaten until you actually eat it. And to that I say, what the hell do you mean?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That's a big risk you're taking there.
Especially for $61,250 at Sotheby's. Yeah. Hey, but if you got that much money to spend, maybe it's worth it. I wouldn't know.
I
wouldn't know. Okay, so anyway, Mora was one of the main reasons that the truffle firmly cemented itself in the fine dining scene. I'm just going to read a couple quotes of famous food authors writing about the taste or the smell of truffle. Late food author Joe Ozersky described the truffle aroma as, quote, a combination of newly plowed soil, fall rain, burrowing earthworms, and the pungent memory of lost youth and old love affairs, end quote. Damn. And then author Paula Walfert described her first taste of a black truffle as, quote, like earth and sky and sea, I felt at one with nature, that my mouth was filled with the taste of the earth. There was a ripeness and naughtiness, something beyond description. It was utter luxury and earthiness combined, end quote.
Okay.
I mean, the first time I had truffle, it was eye-opening, to say the least. Truffles are amazing, especially if you have like a true truffle, like actually fresh. But yeah, it's just amazing how, I don't know, it sounds like everybody's really horny for truffles if you just
I know. Apparently, I've never had one. Maybe I've only had fake ones, apparently.
Apparently. You gotta get yourself a truffle. So that brings us to truffle hunting. What the heck is it? Like we've already discussed, truffles grow underground on tree roots. So how do you know that a truffle is growing underground, right? We're going to talk mainly about Italian truffle hunting and extraction, which is a set of knowledge and practices that has been passed down orally for centuries. Truffle hunters, or tartufi, which is what they're called in Italian, usually live in rural areas and small villages. And there's 2 steps to truffle hunting. The first is the hunt, and the second is the extraction. The hunt entails the identification of areas where the truffle plant grows, from whose roots grow the underground fungus. And this step is carried out with the help of a 4-legged friend.
Cute.
The first is a truffle hog. So any domesticated pig used for locating and extracting the fruit bodies of truffles are called truffle hogs. Pigs have an exceptional sense of smell, and they are able to identify truffles from as deep as 3 feet underground. It is thought that the natural sex hormones of the male pig are similar to the smell of the truffle. So if you're using a truffle hog, it's always female. Always. Mm-hmm. Because essentially these pigs are super horny, and they're like, again, everyone's horny. They're super horny, and they're smelling this chemical that they think is a male pig, but it's actually a truffle. Interesting. Pigs also have like a natural affinity for rooting in the earth, and they also like to eat truffles. So it's like a good animal to kind of like hunt them out.
Yeah, but you better hope that it doesn't accidentally eat the truffle that it's hunting.
That's true. So using pigs to hunt truffles dates back to the Roman Empire. However, using truffle hogs has been banned in Italy since 1965. It has a lot to do with like swine illnesses, but also the hooves damage the root systems, making it less likely for the same host tree to yield truffles for another year. So they can be kind of damaging. Which brings us to the truffle hound. Unlike pigs, dogs have no natural affinity for truffles and must be specially scent trained to locate them. A trained dog, so usually they'll use what's called a legato romagnolo, which is an Italian dog breed, recognized for its truffle finding capability, can cost up to $10,000 and takes 4 years to train. And stealing dogs, truffle dogs, is a common crime among rival hunters.
Oh my gosh, I imagine.
Yeah. However, traditionalists argue that truffle hogs have a more sensitive nose, and their particular taste for truffles leads to a more devoted animal. Do with that what you will. Yeah, so hunters using a truffle hog will use the hog for the extraction, but other hunters will use like a spade or like a shovel so that they can protect the root system and not damage like the ecosystem. Yeah, and so that's truffle hunting. And I want to end with like a couple fun facts about truffles and truffle hunting and stuff. I think some of this is really interesting. So black truffles, there's so many different types of truffles, but the 2 most famous are black and white truffles. So black truffles are remarkably difficult to cultivate, which contributes to the rarity and how expensive that they can be. Researchers have determined that the reason for their rarity come down to their weird fungus sex life. Again, just more about sex. Unlike other fungi, which can usually reproduce asexually, black truffles reproduce sexually. Black truffles are usually found in single-sex colonies. Even if a colony is initially mixed, they will end up dominated by one sex or the other, which means that the opposite-sexed truffle colonies located far apart rely on animals like dogs and pigs and insects to transport their spores between colonies for reproduction, which contributes to how rare they are.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yes. This is like the fun stuff. truffles have caused crime sprees. There are so many fun articles, and by fun, I just mean like really interesting articles online. Like there's a great article on The Atlantic called The Dark Truth, or like The Dark Untold Truth of Truffle Hunting, which I'll try to include it in our episode description, but it talks a lot about like the crimes involved with truffle hunting. I'll go through a couple of them right now. In 2010, a shortage of black truffles in southern France led to a wave of related crime. So truffle plantation raids, armed robbery of truffle traders, and the theft of truffle trees and truffle hunting dogs. The most notorious incident occurred in the village of Grignon when a truffle producer, Laurent Rumbaugh, shot a man dead with a pump-action shotgun after discovering him on his property stealing truffles.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The victim was a man named Ernesto Pardo, and he had a prior history of truffle thieving. And Rumbaugh claimed that he thought that the man was armed, though it turned out that the intruder was only carrying a truffle spade. So he was arrested for the murder. Local farmers protested against the arrest, referencing the increased tensions caused by truffle-related crime in the region. But Rumbaugh was ultimately sentenced to 8 years in prison for unpremeditated murder. And then similar situations have been reported in regions of Italy. Particularly, there's a kidnapping of truffle hunting dogs, which can take up to 4 years to train, like we've already talked. And in one incident, a trained truffle dog was stolen and only returned after a ransom of 1 million Italian lira had been paid.
Okay.
The truffle world is dark and dangerous.
Yeah, don't want to get involved in that.
Yep. And then I'm going to end with the last fact. It's the weirdest fact. I don't know if this is weird. It's just, I wasn't expecting this fact. It brings us all the way back to the United States and focuses on none other than Oprah fucking Winfrey. Okay. This is so weird. So Oprah is known for her intense love of truffles. And
is
she? Yeah.
I don't know her for that.
If you're deep and thick into the truffle community, then you know about Oprah. Okay. Then you know about Oprah. And now we're about to both know about Oprah. So she is known to bring white truffles into restaurants and request the chef to shave them onto her meals. She also makes sure that the hotels she stays in have a supply of truffle salt. And she also makes sure her assistants and bodyguards keep a jar on hand in case of emergencies.
Oh my God.
In her first cookbook, Food, Health, and Happiness, she featured 8 truffle recipes. And her obsession with truffles began when Lisa Marie Presley, oddly enough, sent her a Christmas basket with truffle salt in it in 2008. So that's where it all began. Thank you, Miss Presley. And then in 2012, she wrote in O Magazine, quote, "How do I love truffle butter? ? Let me count the ways. On a baked potato, on grilled steak, on a sourdough baguette, the truffle salt turns scrambled eggs, popcorn, even plain old cottage cheese into a major thrill." End quote. A thrill, Oprah? And then in 2014, she even went truffle hunting herself in Italy's Umbria region, where she scored nearly a pound of white truffles.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to end with a last quote from Oprah. Quote, "Here's my theory. Anything that's delicious without truffle is even better with it. My trick, start with the zest, then salt if you need it. In my bag at this moment, you'll find my wallet, my keys, and my truffle zest. That's right. I don't go anywhere without it." End quote.
She really has made it her whole personality.
She has. I can't believe we hadn't heard of it until just now.
I know. I never knew that. But to be honest, I don't know that much about Oprah, so.
It's true, yeah. But she likes truffles, and that's a fact that I'm going to take to the grave. And all of our listeners are also going to take that to the grave. So
yeah, drop that in conversation when you can, guys.
It dare you.
Sound really cool.
Mm-hmm. That's truffles and truffle hunting.
Interesting. Well,
remember when truffle fries was like the biggest thing?
That's my experience with truffle. Is truffle fries.
Yeah.
And they're good.
I would say 9 times out of 10 is probably fake lab-made truffle, which is fine. It tastes
the place
okay.
that I'm going? Yeah, it's definitely fake. I'm not going to any place nice enough.
Yeah. Well, that's truffles, folks.
You heard it here first. Or did you? My topic comes from the Sunday Washington Post, Peak Experience, November 6th, Evan Bernholz. Anything else? Okay. 11 down. Helped someone in pain in a way And the answer was massaged. Doing my topic on massages.
And masseusing. Very well.
Yes. Do you like massages? Have you gotten a massage? What types?
I've only gotten massages when I get like a facial or something and they do like the arm or leg or shoulder type massages or like facial massages.
Yeah.
I've never done like a full like body massage, and I think I'm really ticklish.
Some people aren't into it, yeah.
It stresses me out. Like, I feel like I would enjoy it if I could be like completely relaxed, but I feel like I'd be so tense while it was happening, so I'd be so ticklish. The closest experience I've had to like a full body massage is getting body scrubbed at King Spa. And when I say that this woman had to like forcibly hold me against the table so she could like scrub my feet because I was like spasming on the table, I feel like...
Well, you could do more like shoulder,
yeah,
upper body. That's less ticklish, I think.
It's true. I probably could get through that, yeah.
Well, maybe this will inspire you to get a massage. First of all, there's all different types of massages out there you can get, so you may find one that works for you. I, on the other hand, I love massages. If you know me, you know I'll get any massage anywhere. I've done it all. Almost. Obviously not all. There's a bunch of different types, but I have done quite the variety of massages.
She loves it.
I do. I had back problems a couple years ago, so that gave me an excuse to like try a bunch of different ones. But in general, I also just like them. So yes. Massage. The art of massage.
Okay.
Probably to surprise you, it's been around for centuries. As long as humans have been around, our bodies have ached. And, you know, there's like modern day massage therapy, but there's a lot of different countries and cultures that kind of fed into or created what we know today. So let's look into some massages of the past.
Okay.
There is some debate as to which culture actually developed like the first proper massage form, but some of the earliest documented evidence is from India around 3000 BC. So Ayurveda is a system of, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, is a system of holistic medicine and healing that started in ancient India. It included therapeutic massage. Texts detailing massage's place in Ayurvedic practices were written around 1500 BC, but research suggests that techniques were developed centuries before, like 3000. Some other techniques that we still use today come from Ayurveda are meditation and aromatherapy. And we kind of talked about aromatherapy in another topic. But yeah, it's like all these things were created. It's crazy to think that like this stuff was created so long ago, but then people are still using it today to help them.
Which, I mean, not for nothing. People are going to be talking about this podcast for the next 4,000, 5,000 years. That's a fucking fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
You know the world's not going to be around in 4,000 years.
Okay. Massage.
Okay. Fast forward. It must have been so nice to be living in 2700 BC in China, knowing that you had your whole existence and your future generation's existence ahead of you.
Oh, God. Nothing to worry about. Just your body aching.
Yep. Well, there are texts from this time period that mention massage as a medical treatment. So the Chinese implemented massage therapy into their medical practices, believing that health issues were created by imbalances of energy in the body. Massages were said to open up these passageways or meridians to make the body's energy flow, fighting off disease and illness. So that's similar to like acupuncture, you know, is supposed to open up energy flow. And I have actually had good luck with acupuncture. I know some people are skeptical of alternative medicine, but both me and my mom have actually had good luck with it. So
I've always been interested in it.
It's
been around for centuries for a reason. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yeah. You know? I've used it for like body aches, like pain, but my mom uses it for allergies and headaches.
I wonder if I could help it, if it could help my histamine issues.
Maybe. There's places in Chicago. Let me know. I'll
all right.
Hook you up. Other practices at this time included acupressure, acupuncture, still used today. There are hieroglyphics in Egyptian tombs that show massages being performed. Amazing. Around 2500 BC, Egyptians developed the field of reflexology, a massage philosophy that's still popular today. And yes, I have gotten a foot reflexology massage many times. The Egyptians believed in the interconnectedness of the body and that applying pressure to one area might treat another area of the body. So hand and foot reflex massages were created as a way of treating the body as a whole. Chinese massage techniques were spreading throughout Asia, so Japanese Buddhist monks added their own spin to the Chinese techniques, creating Anma, which is the earliest form of shiatsu massage, and we'll talk more specifically about like what some of these massages actually are later.
Mm-hmm.
But shiatsu and ashiatsu massage, which is very popular today, became popular methods of increasing blood flow and circulation throughout the body, as well as relieving stress and promoting healing. So far, it's like everything's kind of in the eastern part of the world.
Which is what I anticipated, honestly.
Yes, but it does make its way over to Europe, and the first, like pretty early on, in the first country to really start to embrace the practice of massage was Greece. During the 5th century, they focused on sports massage therapy to help people recover from injuries, because, the Greek loved their athletics.
Sports. Yeah.
Hippocrates of, the Hippocratic Oath, he prescribed, there's like proof that he prescribed massage treatments as a way to heal injuries. So that was kind of that. Those were like the different massage types. Things kind of remained stagnant in the West as far as like developing new massage techniques until the 1800s with the development of the Swedish massage. Or should it be called the Dutch massage?
Oh.
It may not be very Swedish at all.
Oh
so
my God.
The massage was like officially created by a Dutch doctor named Johann Georg Mesger around 1868, but it's often attributed to the Swedish fencing instructor and doctor Per Henrik Ling. Why? So there's a lot of like potential theories as to why, but most people say it's probably due to a translation error. So they did work together. Ling, the Swede, he said he was a fencing instructor and a doctor, but he also created a curriculum at the Royal Central Gymnastics Institute, and he called it the Swedish Movement System, or the Swedish Gymnastic Movement System, which people think later along the lines somehow got like confused or translated to the Swedish massage system. But it was really created by this other Dutch doctor.
Okay.
So, either way, a Swedish massage is defined in large part by the original strokes that compose its method: stroking, kneading, striking, and rubbing. Yep. These days,
horniest episode we've had in a long time. Sorry.
Swedish massage is the go-to technique for massage therapists in the Western world. It's true if you go to get a massage somewhere in the West, it's most likely a Swedish massage. It has many benefits, including increased flexibility, an improved immune system, pain management, and mental relaxation. So I'm going to talk about like different types of massages and what kind of happens in them.
Okay.
There's aromatherapy massage, which can be used with any bare skin massage, and it's not like a specific massage on its own. It's kind of added in on top of a different like more physical massage. But it's basically believed that different plants and scents can help with different conditions, like lavender, relaxation, tea tree for decongestion. I don't know if this is aromatherapy, but I once got a CBD massage where there was CBD in the lotion. I was like feeling high as a kite afterward just from the CBD. But it was like, it gets absorbed through your skin. I don't know. Yeah. I definitely don't think I could have driven after that.
Yeah.
The hot stone massage. So a hot stone massage consists of a heated stone being placed on the body for therapeutic purposes. One of the earliest known uses of hot stones for massage purposes is from the Chinese text from thousands of years ago, although now it's like spread around everywhere, and basically it is what it sounds like. They put heated rocks on your back sometimes with a towel between, and they kind of rub these hot rocks on your muscles. I personally
feel like
don't
if you like... Go ahead.
I don't like hot stone massages that much because it's not like, doesn't get in there enough. But actually might be good for someone who's ticklish.
It's true. I was going to say, I feel like if you Google massage and you look at like Google Pics, the image that comes up is like a woman with hot stones on her back.
It is.
I can like call that image to mind immediately.
Yeah. Even though I feel like sometimes they add it on to a Swedish massage, but okay, myofascial release massage. This is a gentle massage. It's a physical therapy practice that consists of light strokes over trigger points to relax muscles. This technique focuses on relieving tension and tightness in muscle groups and tissue, and it was developed to treat myofascial pain syndrome, but you don't have to have that to get it. I have gotten a myofascial release massage, and it was not gentle. Like a physical therapy massage where they're getting into your trigger points, that hurts. Like someone who loves massages, that is like, it's so painful, and it's not relaxing at all.
Oof.
Okay, the shiatsu massage. This is one I have never gotten. So that's a Japanese style massage. It consists of applying rhythmic pressure to the body without oils. So it's not like that rubbing, relaxing thing. Shiatsu is conventionally performed on a mat on the floor and doesn't call for the removal of clothing like other types of massages. It's generally used to reduce stress and treat chronic body pain. So it's a lot of like hitting, I'm guessing. Rhythmic pressure.
Yeah, like drumming. Okay.
Thai massage. I'm very familiar with Thai massage. And yes, there are amazing Thai massage places in Chicago and all over the world. If this is something that interests you, it's different from a regular massage.
You're going to have to hook me up with some suggestions because I've always wanted to try it. I've just been apprehensive.
So a Thai massage is less ticklish, I think. It's a clothed massage. So typically you go and they like give you a big pair of pants and a shirt to change into. And the massage therapist stretches the recipient in a series of yoga-like poses.
Oh.
They're performed on a floor mat, not on a, regular massage bed. You're on the floor and they kind of like move you, stretch you around, do some massage. It's like a combination of stretching and massage. It's popular in Thailand, obviously. It's a blend of influences from Southeastern Asian holistic traditions, such as Chinese and Indian Ayurvedic practices. The spread of Buddhism from India was an important catalyst in the creation of the Thai massage, which is largely used to promote stress relief, energy, and flexibility. And a lot of, not a lot, but when I was in Thailand, there were a couple of temples that had like Thai massage schools there, and you could get a Thai massage at the temple.
That sounds like I would really like that.
And that's the one where they like twist you around and they like crack your spine. It's amazing.
Oh, you're like dying for it.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. A reflexology massage. So this has its roots in Egyptian medical practices, but reflexology focuses mainly on massaging hands and feet to treat other places in the body. According to reflexology philosophy, different parts of the feet and hands are connected to different parts of the body. And so, for example, reflexology states that the ball of the foot is connected to the heart and chest, and the arch of the foot is connected to the kidney, liver, and pancreas. I have gotten a reflexology massage myself. There are a lot of Chinese reflexology massage places in Chicago. And I swear when they're like, they only touch your feet, but I feel it like going up my body. I don't know how to explain it.
I know exactly what you mean. I not that I've like had a massage before, but I do know like I've done like Reiki and stuff. And I feel like there are ways that you're feeling things like a physical sensation in one place and then like some sort of like weird like ghost sensation somewhere else. Yeah.
And your feet have a lot of like nerve endings or whatever. But I went on Reddit to look up people's personal experiences with reflexology to see. There's a reflexology subreddit, but I didn't find that much. I did find one person posted on the chronic illness subreddit. Quote, I have to say, I felt so validated when the masseuse essentially could tell what my problems were in my body just from my feet without me saying anything. With having so many doctors in the past just look at me like I'm crazy, it was so nice to have someone actually, I guess, feel what was wrong. I think that's a big part of massage too. It's like, especially if you have pain, sometimes when you go to the doctor, they're very much just like, okay, try this, try this, try this. But like a massage is much more like, it feels like someone actually cares, you know? So other users on Reddit talk about how because there's a reflexology subreddit. So there's no scientific proof, like peer-reviewed studies that reflexology works, but some people say it might be a placebo effect, but there is scientific proof that placebo effect works. So I don't know. Then does it matter? Then if you think it's going to work, then maybe it'll work.
Fucking feels good for some people, so
it does. Although it isn't.
Why stop?
Yeah. If someone is like really ticklish on their feet, maybe not.
It's literally, I would literally never, and that's just what it is. That's what it's always going to be.
Yeah. No, couldn't be me. Okay, fun facts about massages. In the late 19th century, many wealthy women suffered from a condition called neurasthenia, which is a form of melancholy. I wish I could. I have melancholy. Symptoms of neurasthenia include fatigue, depression, anxiety, high blood pressure, and headache. Doctors used to prescribe the, quote, rest cure to these women, a treatment that required women to spend 6 to 8 weeks in isolation and on bed rest. Doctors use what we now call full body massages to maintain their muscle tone and improve their moods during this rest cure period. I think if I had a rest cure, they don't do it anymore, but obviously, but I feel like I feel pretty good.
Isn't that what they do with like patients who can't get out of bed? They like massage them just to like make sure that their muscles don't like atrophy.
I'm sure they do. I don't know,
That's
though.
what that sounds like.
But
these women are being forced to be bedridden.
Yeah, but they were melancholic. See,
You're
if
right, I'm
someone's
sorry.
like a week where you just lay in bed and someone comes by and massages you like 5 times a day
I also feel like the worst cure to give someone with depression
is
is
lay
to
in
force
bed.
them to be alone in bed.
Yeah, that's me after 11 p.m.
Oh.
Okay, there are over 80 common massage modalities being used around the world, so I didn't even touch all 80 of them.
Wow.
But it is my life goal to get one of every kind of massage.
She's got her list going and she's going to tick off her boxes.
The sense of touch is the first sense to develop in humans and the last to diminish. I don't know where they got that, but I saw that in a bunch of different places. We have approximately 5 million touch receptors in our skin, which also is the largest organ of the body, which everyone knows.
Epidermis.
Yes, your epidermis is showing. Okay, according to this one website.
Sorry.
That got you?
It got me good.
You never went to middle school?
No, I've never been to middle school. I was born as a 30-year-old woman.
Okay. Massaging the top, middle, and bottom of the outer earlobes once per day has been found to strengthen the immune system. How on earth they researched that? But I swear to you, that was on like multiple websites about massage fun facts.
And then I gotta start massaging my ears.
This is the final claim. First of all, these were all on like most of the websites were like massage schools or whatever. They were like fun facts you don't know about massage therapy. A 60-minute massage offers the same benefits as 7 to 8 hours of sleep does for your body. I don't know about that.
Prove it.
But imagine it's like, I don't sleep at night. I just get an hour-long massage.
You just like enter into like a massage trance and you're like recharge your battery. If only.
One time
do not let the capitalists figure that out, because they're gonna start putting masseuses in the Amazon warehouses. Yeah, we're gonna send anybody home.
Well, I saw a hypnotist who says he only sleeps like 4 hours a night.
My history teacher in high school said the same thing, and I was like, "Are you wearing that as like a badge of pride?"
No, but he says he gets his full rest from hypnotism because he like hypnotizes himself into such a deep sleep. Apparently, Tiger Woods only sleeps like 5 hours a night too.
Yeah, I want to know how much of that is like mania or anxiety versus true health. I mean, maybe Tiger is healthy. Who knows? Have you been to a hypnotist show? Yeah, like ages and ages ago, not anything recently.
I feel like okay. Listeners, if you've ever been hypnotized, let us know.
Well, I feel like there are some things to be said about that. People can like cure addictions and cure like, we've talked about this, car sickness, motion sickness.
I know. I need to go.
If only for the motion sickness, I would go and try it out. But you know, knowing me and my damn luck, they would unlock some kind of like mental illness that's been dormant. God.
Well,
testing
that's
God.
Us, everyone. Yeah. Tread very carefully. My brain does not need to be open too much.
No, I
just keep the door nice and closed.
Yeah, just like key it closed, lock it up tight. Well, maybe I'll get a Thai massage. Maybe that's like a good way to like intro me to a massage. Yeah. I always love getting like going to an esthetician and getting like a facial massage when they're like trying to drain all your lymph nodes. It's nice. Amazing. And I feel like my face is like 10 pounds lighter afterwards. Like, I'm like, did I really have all that juice stored up in my lymph nodes and just drained it all out? You know? Mm-hmm. If you've never had, first of all, a facial, get one. And then secondly, when you do, let me know how your lymph nodes hold up. I'm curious.
Yeah. If you want to let us know, you can talk to us on Twitter at The Good Eve Girls.
Or Instagram at The Good Evening Girls.
Or TikTok at The Good Eve Girls.
Come on down. And until then, until we hear about your massage stories, whether or not stories. You've hunted a truffle before, keep curious, and you'll see us here, the same place, same time, like always. And maybe I will have finished God of War by then, but hopefully not.
We'll be checking back in next week.
Yes, we will. Until then, goodbye. Bye.